Anyway, we're just gonna get into it. All right, so apparently the National Guard has been sent to LA. Like 2,000 National Guards have been sent to LA. Like, I don't really know what's going on in our White House for real, but it's getting stupid. It's getting real stupid. You know, I all of the girl fights and the cat fights out there, and I feel like they be trying to take out their aggression on other people is misdirected anger. Honestly, that's what I feel like. I don't know. So many people like have sat there and they thought that they was doing a good thing by putting Trump in office. You got so many people like, oh well, I didn't mean to. I didn't know he was gonna act like that or whatever. But he kind of told y'all. He kind of told y'all. I don't agree with none of this, but I'm just saying, like, you can look at this man and tell that he hateful. You can look at this man and tell he hateful. His whole cabinet hateful. They mad at us as black people. They mad at us because this our shit for real. And then they mad at the black and brown people because they didn't really get what they wanted out of y'all. They mad at the brown people because they didn't get what they wanted out of y'all. When Biden was in office, Biden did the whole border thing or whatever because of election purposes. They use people. Ain't nothing but narcissists up there. They use people. And so when Trump get in office, you know, y'all wasn't really for him like that. Well, some I ain't even gonna say that, but he want to get rid of y'all because y'all ain't really doing what he wants y'all to do for real. They want all of our stuff. They coming for all of our stuff, and that's why I said that black and brown people are going to have to stick together because don't nobody like us. Don't nobody like us. What's happening in LA, that always happened to us. Every time we go out there and try to protest for something that we feel is being done wrong to us, they go crazy. They send out the National Guard and all of that or whatever. That always happened to us. It always happened to us. And it happened to us because it's ours for real. This land and stuff is ours for real. I don't feel like anybody that's black and brown should pay federal taxes. If you're going to spend your time trying to unalive us, I don't feel like anybody should pay that's black and brown should pay for federal taxes. What for? What for? You just gonna use it to kill us? Or oh, oops. This is my first live, y'all. Y'all gotta be look, be patient with me because I'm just whatever come to my mind is what I say. But what for? What we gonna use? What we need federal tax? Why we need to pay federal taxes? If you gonna send the military, who we giving our money to, if you're gonna send the military, you're gonna send the police, you're gonna send everybody, you're gonna send them against. Why do we need to pay? You don't want to for black and brown for black people. You don't want to give us reparations. You say you ain't got enough money. It'll bankrupt the country or what. We shouldn't have to pay taxes then. Federal for real. Federal for real. I don't get it. That man mad. That man mad. He sit up there. He mad. He mad at Elon. He mad at us. He mad at uh, so-called fake news. He mad that this whole Epstein thing. Did nobody tell him to go up there to that island? Did nobody tell him to be weird? Did nobody tell him to be weird? And the reason why I stick by brown people so bad, and I know they say that brown, like Spanish people and stuff, they racist against black people and stuff like that. But the reason why I stick by them so well is because I know my history. I know that whenever we were running in slavery and we were fighting these people in slavery and stuff like that, I know the brown people helped us. They helped us, you know. I'm done with the whole helping people who don't help us type thing. But they helped us. So that's why I speak up for y'all. You know what I mean? That's why I speak up for y'all. I don't understand. I don't understand having to go to like churches and ripping people from their family and stuff like that when you can there is a better way, but they always find a way to be super aggressive. The Klan, KKK, everything that the black people had or whatever, they came through. They would run us out of the stuff that we built. They were like, oh, well, we don't want y'all around us for real or whatever. Or pull yourself up by your bootstraps type thing. And then whenever we go do that, they come in there and tear everything down. I was just watching Malcolm X the other day, and I saw, they got the part where Malcolm X's daddy wasn't really afraid of them like that. And Malcolm X's daddy would speak up on stuff like that. And then the Klan came through throwing stuff through their window, kids in the house. They was throwing, what y'all call those things in the bottle with the fire and stuff like that. They was throwing that stuff, breaking their windows and stuff like that. And then like today, like even today, we have black people going missing all the time. All the time. And don't nobody really get in trouble like that for real. I would say about like what percentage would y'all say get in trouble for what it is that they do? But if we turn around and do what it is that they do, it's a problem. It's a problem. They can take it. They can dish it, but they can't take it. They don't want you to fight back. They don't want you to do nothing. They take the National Guard to come out there and sweep everybody who's trying to protest. But you pay for them. That's your money. That's your money. Anybody who go to work pay federal taxes. That's your money. That's your money. Trump having a birthday and all of that, $16 million for a birthday. That's your money. That's your money. And I don't believe that anybody, if you sitting up there and you plotting and you scheming all the time on how to unalive me, I shouldn't have to pay for you to try to figure out how to unalive me and take me out. Period. Period. And then they say, oh, well, if you don't pay taxes, you get all these fines, or you might. What they do to Wesley Snipes? What they do to Lauryn Hill? No, the whole system need to be revamped. The whole system, because honestly, we're not the ones that really had a problem like that for real. I had a debate. I had a debate or a discussion with this girl, and she was a Caucasian girl, and I like her. I enjoy having conversations with people that are not like me. She's liberal and she's a feminist, and I'm not liberal and I'm not a feminist. Um, but she is, and I enjoy hearing other people's perspectives. We talked about segregation, and I told her that I'm okay. I'm honestly, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if we can't get along. You stay on your side and I stay on my side, but I'm not with how how Trump is going about it. He's aggressive. He's aggressive. I'm not with it like that. And the only reason I say that is because, like, if you look at places like Lake Lanier, or in Wilmington, North Carolina. You look at places where we built our communities. What? Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. You look at places where we built our community. You know, we were doing fine. We were thriving. We were thriving. There are even studies that show that if black and brown people in the medical industry take care of one another, our health care be better. That's because they always looking for ways to do us one. They have a lady right now, a black woman. They keeping her alive and she pregnant. But she I don't know if y'all read that story. She's not alive on her own, but they're keeping her alive for the fetus. That ain't nothing but a test study. That ain't nothing but a test study. What was that lady named Henrietta Lack? They didn't even want to give that family their money. They used her sales for the medical industry and didn't even want to give her family their the money. This the type of people we dealing with. This the type of people we dealing with. And what kills me is this go home type thing when this is not even their home. America is not their home. But they don't like to talk about that. They don't like to talk about that. Black people were prisoners of war. We were prisoners of war. And then they say, oh, well, it wasn't white people that did it. It was Jews that did it or whatever. It's a white man in office right now that's doing it. Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight me. And granted that, they say, oh, well, black on black crime and y'all hurt each other and this, that, and the other. They totally ignore history. They totally ignore history. They act like that don't even exist. Like when you take the Jews, for example, I don't know how many of y'all are religious or how much y'all done studied into all of that. For example, you got 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel that have been scattered. Not everybody had the same tribe. Not everybody did the same thing. That's why they were so willing whenever we had to flee. When the Roman, okay, let me back up. I'm gonna give y'all a history lesson. Because they act like Israel, Egypt, all of that. They act like we weren't there. Like what y'all see is what y'all see type thing, and that ain't it. That ain't it. We had to flee because the Romans and the Arabs and all of those, they were coming through, so we had to flee. So we fled into certain parts of Africa, and those Africans knew that we were not like them. So they gave us over, some of us. But again, I'm gonna go back that it was still black people in America too. But I'm talking about these tribes. They gave them over. That's what I'm saying. This ain't even really they stuff for real for them to be acting like that. They too cocky. They too cocky. I love to have debates about stuff like that. If it takes separation, if it takes separation in order for us to get along. See, this was my idea. I spoke I spoke with a friend about this. I don't mind having Because okay, because the girl that I was talking to when I was telling y'all that I like her or whatever, even though she's liberal, even though she's a feminist and she's a socialist, she's everything that I'm not. But I still like having discussions with her because she said, well, if you believe in segregation, that means that you're not equal. And I said, well, no, that just means that you mind your business and I mind mine. You know, if I got to worry about my kid walking down the street and you getting afraid and trying to unalive him, I don't want to live around nothing like that. So you mind your business and I mind mine, you know. And she was like, no, but that's not equal. That's not equal. But then I believe that, you should be able to go through like a checkpoint and say, okay, this is where I want to be. Take your picture for my safety and yours, so it don't be no Emmett Till type stuff where it say, oh, well, this person, this person was looking at me or tried to hurt me or wanted me or something like that. And then everybody come after me. So you go through a checkpoint, you take your picture, put it in a database type thing, showing that you want to come kick it with us type thing, so that if anything pop off or something happened to you, we can go to that database and say, okay, well, this person wanted to kick it with us type thing. Because honestly, the black people don't really have no problem for real. We don't have a problem like that for real. It's other people that got a problem. So you go through a checkpoint, you say, or you take your picture and you take your family, whoever you bring it with you, all of y'all be in a database, say, you know, y'all want to come kick it with us. And so y'all in there for my safety and your safety. Because you can't say that I came over there and I tried to do you one. And I feel like they'll fix that, but they're not trying to brainstorm. They're not trying to brainstorm on that. They just want your stuff. They just want your stuff. Because honestly, if you get technical with it, places like Texas and stuff like that, the brown people had that before them. If you want to get technical with it, they don't like to talk about that. They omit all of that. All of that. Crazy thing is, like, and we was also talking, and this is Pride Week, so we can talk about this too. And I don't have nothing against the LGBTQ community. Actually, I enjoy dabbling on that side myself. But we was talking about this too, because there's a lot of things that people don't agree on, but I don't think that it's necessary to get so aggressive with. So me and the girl, we was talking about the LGBTQ, and I told her, I said, I don't have a problem with it, other than men going in women's restrooms. I have a problem with that. Like, as far as the transgender thing or whatever, you can use a unisex restroom. I don't, and that's just for safety purposes. Again, I always go back to safety purposes. Um, Kids and stuff like that, small kids, and I told her this. I have nieces, nephews, under the age of 7, you know, and if they see a boy in a dress or whatever, they're gonna say that's what it is. So don't my problem is gaslighting the children and saying that's not what they see. And for the predators that are out there, you're giving them an opportunity to take advantage of that. She disagreed with everything that I'm saying, and that's okay. That's okay. But she also don't have children. She don't have children. So in order to eliminate that, use a unisex restroom. What you do in your bedroom is your business. That's your business. But and as far as being who you want to be and expressing yourself, that's the I'm 100% down with expressing yourself. Do it. Do it. Do what you want to do. But don't try to get nobody to say what it's not. You know what I'm saying? Even if you feel like that. Because I said I could say that I feel like I'm a white woman. Does that make it so? I feel like I'm a white woman in my inside. Does that make me a white woman? No. You know what I mean? But if I want to express myself in a certain type of way, that's my business. It's my right. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to gaslight somebody, especially children, because they moldable. I feel like this is open access for people, open access for people, for predators. But anybody who ain't never had to deal with that don't know nothing about it. So you need to keep protectors and stuff alive. You can't make the whole world, you can't make the whole world be what it is that you want them to be, type thing. We need this is why, like, I believe in tribes. We need places that, and I believe Trump is trying to take away state laws and stuff like that, but we need places that say this is how we get down. And again, you know what I'm saying? You decide whether or not you want to be a part of that or not. And again, you take your picture, and you and your family or whatever, and y'all put yourself in a database saying that this is what y'all agree to, in case there come if something legal supposed to go down. And if you say this person try to do, that's for the safety of everybody. We've had too many black men, you know, we had too many black men been accused of things that they didn't do for real, just by being them, black and brown, black and brown. They're not trying to figure out solutions for real. They just want your stuff. I'm telling y'all. They just want your stuff. We're gonna have to support each other. We're gonna have to take care of each other. And y'all know what? I dated a Spanish person once. And this Spanish person did say some racist stuff, and it made me think to myself, like, you don't know your history for real. We the same. You have some of my blood and I have some of yours. We you don't know your history for real. Y'all, we're brothers and sisters. 12 tribes of Israel. We're brothers and sisters. If I'm not mistaken, the Spanish might be Manessa. I know the Native Americans. I know the Native Americans is Gad, and the black people over here in the States is Judah. And over in the islands, you got Benjamin. And over in Haiti, you got Levi, the priest over in Haiti. They scattered us for a reason. They scattered, we brothers, we sisters. We're brothers and sisters. And they know this. But a lot of us don't know this. A lot of us don't know this, that we brothers and sisters for real. And whenever we come together, we make up the body of Christ. We make it up. We need our priest over in Levi. They told us, they said that the Africans don't respect the Americans, black Americans, because the Americans don't know who they are. The black Americans don't know who they are. They said that the Africans look down on the blacks over here in America. They look down on us because we don't know who we are. But you got to look, that was beat out of us. They took away literacy, reading, writing. We couldn't do that. They took away our God. We couldn't express who we worshiped. That's where hoodoo come from. We had to hide our religion, what we kept, we had to hide it behind Catholicism. You had moms and dads and stuff like that. They took the buck breaking. If y'all know what that is, they don't want y'all to learn about this in school. They don't want y'all to learn about buck breaking. That stuff still go on, especially in the entertainment industry. That stuff still go on. Diddy was a prime example of buck breaking. That's what he did. That's what he did. But who you think he learned it from? They take the leader who seems like they are leading the pack, and they make an example out of them. And it scared everybody around them so that they would not revolt or come up against the white man. They would take they would take they would take men and drag them by horses, have them ripped in two, grape. They would do that in front of the community. Imagine a wife and child seeing their dad, uncle, brother being tortured, sicking animals and dogs on them, alligator bait. That stuff was beat out of us. It was beat out of us. Look here, you ain't got to be on my live if it's an excuse. Next, it was beat out of us. So yeah, when the Africans say that we don't know who we are, would you? Would you? And when they talk about deportation and they talk about go back to Africa, go back to Africa is a continent. Which part we going to? Am I Nigerian? Am I from Ghana? Am I from Benin? Where am I from? So if you were gonna deport me, where you gonna send me to? You just gonna throw me in Africa? They have so many different languages in Africa. Where you gonna send me to? But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know this to be fact. The Native Americans didn't look like what you think they look like. They look like me. I come from a place in the sticks where the mountains are still have Native American names. Currahee, Tugelo. Still have Native American names. But they don't want to tell you that. And they take away your nationality so that you can't go to the government and say that you want reparations because you don't have a nationality. There's nothing to file. You're like a ghost. Then when they want to call you African American, it's kind of right, but not really. Is Elon an African American? They say Russia is about to grant him asylum. He can go to Russia for safety. But just think about it. Elon got information. He got all of our data that he obtained illegally. But they don't think like that. They too full of rage to think straight. Too full of hate to think straight. You think Putin care about you? Putin is methodical. He played a long game. He played a long game. Think he care? Think he care about Trump? Putin is methodical. He played a long game. He willing to wait. He said, Elon, you can come over here. You can come over here. Trump ain't doing you right. Come tell me all about it. Come tell me all about it. Elon mad because he can't have his way. He mad because he can't have his way. And that's two narcissists working, fighting. It's two narcissists. Trump, all he care about is money. Elon said, I paid for your election. You wouldn't be in that seat without my money. That's what Elon said. Or I can't have my way. I can't set up Starlink here, there, or whatever. Elon mad too because he can't set up Starlink in Africa or whatever. Africa fighting back. You know? I saw a video. Elon said, oh, well, they saying that I can't set up Starlink because I'm not black. This gaslighting stuff is serious. It's serious. It's serious. Y'all be trying to take people out. It ain't got nothing really to do with your skin color, for real. Honestly, black people don't really care about that, for real. What it got something to do with is you trying to take people out and steal their land. And I'm gonna tell you why it matters. Because in situations where safety is a concern, you need a spot for one person to go to, and you need a spot for the other person to go to, so that peace can be imminent at that point. But if you take everybody and consolidate them like this, and you say don't nobody own nothing but me at the top or whatever, that make everybody subjugated to you. That's a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't rock like you, for real. Everybody don't. So that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Again, if it's a safety hazard for me to be around you, I need a spot that I can go, and you need a spot that you can go. But my problem is with the I'm gonna go ahead and say the YT people, the not certain YT people, is they want to say that everything is theirs, and that's not it. That's not it. It's more people on this earth than just them. It's more people. It's a safety concern. So with Elon complaining that they won't let him do Starlink over there in Africa, it ain't really got nothing to do with your skin color, sir. Your family got a history. You come from a family that got a history of exploiting black people. Take ownership. Take accountability. It is what it is. It is what it is. Your family got a history. You go over there, you divide the people. Look, you got, they just brought over, was it like 40 something South Africans, and said that it they were unaliving. They said that the Africans were unaliving the YT South Africans over there. And the YT South Africans over there hold 70 to 80% of the resources in Africa, South Africa. Go look it up. We're nobody unaliving nobody. But everybody should get their fair share. Everybody, if you work for it, you should be able to obtain things. You don't go over there and bully people. Use your capitalism. This is why I'm not really fond of capitalism. I'm not really fond of capitalism. Have y'all looked at the wealth gap? Even if you think you got money, you ain't got money compared to the people at the top. Y'all look at the chart. Everybody is down here, and you got like 1% that's all the way up here. That's the wealth gap. A lot of y'all want to come over here to the States and stuff like that, and y'all paying big money for houses and stuff that you'll never really own because you're going to have to pay taxes on it for the rest of your life. Even if you pay the house off, if you don't keep up the property tax, they can still come get it. It's modern day slavery over here for real. There is no American dream. You think you're doing something, but you're not doing nothing. Trump out in Elon right now talking about your cars. Your cars, you put it together with Gorilla Glue. Your cars ain't nothing for real. They telling it. They telling it. You think you buying, you think you living lavish over here, but you gonna pay for it. You gonna pay for it. They want major corporations to own the majority of the housing market. They don't want you to have nothing. They want you to work until you up the retirement age. Take it from 65 to 70. So that whenever you do finally retire, you only got how many years to live? But all the while they've been living their whole entire life off your dime. Going to the beaches, having vacations, flying here, flying there, doing their thing, da 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 da. There is no American dream. And when we recognize that the only way that we're gonna fight this monster is by understanding that we are brothers and sisters, we family for real. That's the only way we're gonna make it. Because it's only 1%. That's the only way we're gonna make it. My father owns real estate right now. There was a property that he had, and there was a YT man that wanted to buy his property. And he said, no, it's not for sale. So the YT man leaves. But he comes back again and asks again, and an amenable about amount of time. He comes back and asks again. My father said again, no, the property is not for sale. There was a lady that calls my father and told him, you need to come up here to this office because you got a man that was looking through your things. And basically, the man was looking to see if my dad owed any taxes or anything on those properties so that he could take it. So imagine you paying on a property. Say your property 200K, and you've been paying on it all this time, and you owe like $100 on taxes or something like that. You got people that can go in the office and look so that, and you only got a certain amount of time to come up with whatever it is that you owe on it or whatever, or they'll take it from you or put a lien on your stuff. That's over here in the States. There is no American dream. Think I'm playing? Think I'm playing? Am I lying? How is it that how is it that where do I go look through Trump files to see if he done paid all his taxes? See what he owe. Where I go? So I can take some of his stuff. How I do that? And another thing that killed me is I'm talking about over here in the States now. You got a credit system, your credit score. Now, America in all this debt, what's America's credit score? They tell you that you got to pay this, that, and the other, and you got to pay on time, and this, that, and then, you're going to accrue this much interest, and your score go down, and you won't be able to obtain a job, and you won't be able to um, purchase new things and stuff like. What's America's credit score? They position themselves to be at the top, and they don't have to hold accountability for nothing. For nothing. And you got to keep your eye on them because they're working on a social credit score. You know what a social credit score is? If you go against what their agenda is, they can dock you on your social credit score, where you won't be able to purchase certain things, or you will not be able to obtain that flight that you want to get on, or you won't be able to live in certain locations. They're working on a social credit score. You have to watch them. That's why I say that we need to realize that we are brothers and sisters and we all matter in this situation. And that's the only way we're going to defeat this monster. Because if not, everybody going to be in a fix. Because they don't care about you. I don't even know if they care about themselves. I feel like they might off themselves trying to off us. Because even the things that they doing environmentally does not just affect certain races and nationalities and ethnicities. It affects everybody, plants, animals, everybody. That's like having a spouse that say, I off both of us if I can't get my way. If we go back to the epidemic that we had, that the what can I say this on TikTok? I hate being censored. 2020, when everybody had to stay inside the house. If we go back to that, they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose. They had been plotting that for a long time. Go back and look at Bill Gates' TED Talk when he was talking about it. Why is he still able to walk around freely? They're talking about how we off one another. Look what they done. Look how many people they got rid of. But he's still able to walk around here freely. That was plotted. They knew what they was doing. And anybody who spoke up against it, they censored them. I'm one of them. I had a YouTube channel where I was reading tarot, and I had mentioned that, before it happened, and I told people to be cautious about the jab, and I was flagged and stopped. You giving these people access. You giving these people, and this is my issue with like Elon and them or whatever. You got access to data and stuff, and you got access. You got the power to rig elections. You got the power to stop people from talking. You got the power to do this, that. And that. That's why I say the only way we're gonna get by is if we realize that we are family. We're family, and if you want to keep ticking, you're gonna have to realize that. These people got access to everything. They monitor everything. You go to the grocery store, you sign up for a Kroger card. They monitor what you eat, what you buy. Everything is digital. They want digital this, digital that, so that they can monitor and watch you on everything, even this app. And then they try to distract you from paying attention with entertainers, you know? They own the entertainers. This is why I say to the young people, if you want to be a music artist, any type of entertainer, stuff like that or whatever, it's good to be independent. Don't sign nothing with these people. Don't sign nothing. Because them entertainers, they really just high dollar slaves for real. That's why they don't speak out on a lot of stuff. They can't. Their job is to entertain you, have you look the other way while these people rob you. All right. That was my first live, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. That was my first live, but thank y'all for listening to my rant, you know. I might come back on later. All right. How do you exit that?